The farmers' revolt has begun. The message is simple. This is not a protest about not wanting to pay tax like anyone else. It's much bigger than that. It's a recognition for an entire industry. It's a sense of betrayal. It's a sense of injustice. It's a lack of understanding of what farming is, what it means in the grander scale, food security, employment, crucially, legacy. Some of our politicians do not understand this, namely Starmer the farmer harmer is up there, along with Rachel Reeves, the former TSB PR girl, top economist. Farming isn't like many other industries. It's part of our economic infrastructure, and that's kind of what marks it out. That's why this is a very real and live discussion. Today, they made their voices known. Thousands turning up at Westminster. Even Jeremy Clarkson joined the protest as well to get involved with speakers addressing the crowds and a procession along to Parliament Square. The protest, of course, comes after Keir Starmer and his government announced changes to agricultural property relief and business property relief. This didn't have to happen. This was a political choice. In last month's budget, Rachel Reeves announced the changes which mean that previously exempt farms worth more than £1 million, which is like all of them, will have to pay inheritance tax of 20% from April 2026. There's no real logic behind this. The numbers that are raised are so minuscule in the grander scale, it doesn't really make economic sense. And if you look at the damage, what is involved in implementing this and the upshot, the bureaucracy and everything else that goes with it, it's hardly worth the ink in the pen. It's been met with outrage, of course, from the farming community. National Farmers Union President, that's Tom Bradshaw, said this was a betrayal. I think lots of other people will concur with that. I want your views on this. If you work as a farmer, whether it's one you own, whether it's working the land on behalf of somebody else, whatever it is, then clearly you have a more qualified take on this whole story. It sounds to me every bit a political decision. I think we can probably agree on that. It's a bit like the winter fuel payment thing, which has now been eradicated from millions of pensioners. I think the calculation that the government made is that most OAPs probably don't vote for us anyway, so if ever there was a time to go both barrels on that, now is the time. And I sense, similarly with farmers, I think there was a sort of belief that farmers are all sort of Tories. In fact, there's quite a lot of Lib Dem farmers as well, if you look at the southwest and other areas. So that's a nonsense. But I think that's probably part of their thinking, that these are not our natural voter base. And, you know, why shouldn't they pay what everybody else pays? Well, there's very good reason why the system, as it's been for many, many decades, exists. There's very specific reasons. When inheritance tax and other issues around taxation came into play, the Treasury at the time looked at all the various industries, where this can work, where it doesn't work, where it makes no sense. And farming, given the legacy nature of it, given that it's about food security, it's not like just owning your own florist or something, noble as that is. This is a very different state of affairs, hence the reason why there is uproar about this, and understandably so.